2,000 years later.
Hello everyone! Guess what? I'm not dead. That's right, after well over 8 months, I've finally gotten back to working on my Roblox game Newbie. For those who don't watch my other videos or have only just gotten here, I took some time off to work on some new Friday Night Funkin' mods, which you should definitely check out after this, some projects with some friends over YouTube, and then also to focus on my schoolwork, since my exams were coming up. But now that everything's out of the way, and I've managed to get Roblox Studio to actually open, because it was bugging out for a while on my computer, I managed to get back to work on the project, and after quite a lot of effort, I've managed to get everything ready for this grand comeback of the series, which, quite frankly, all of you have been looking forward to. And then I went on holiday for 2 weeks, which kind of screwed up the entire editing schedule, so this video is now 2 weeks later than it already was, and I wrote the whole thing when I was sleep deprived. Anyway, woohoo! Right, let's get started then. So the first thing that I did was go back and fix everything wrong that I did prior, because this game was a clunky, buggy mess. I started off by slightly changing up Newbie's character model a bit, followed by redoing absolutely every animation from scratch. That's right, all of them. I've actually learned and practiced animating a lot more since I first created these animations, particularly taking inspiration from how it's done in anime and other video games. YouTubers like Alan Becker, Manu Mercurial, and Robert Thompson were who I used for learning these skills, so I'd highly recommend watching those guys if you want to learn animation for yourself, because if I were to teach it, I'd absolutely butcher everything, I guarantee. Anyway, the animations were looking a lot better now. I actually also added some new ones for moves like the super jump. Granted, they're still kinda whack, but at least they look a lot better than they did, especially with some more minor effects that I added, like the little fire trails. In the future, I also plan to create a fully animated face too, but right now I'm afraid poor Newbie's just gonna have to run around without a face. Following this, I also then reanimated the existing enemies as well, that being the explosive Backazai drone and the missile-launching duo deck. I did notice that I never really explained the names for either of these characters in my older videos, so there you are, curious people. Yes! I named these guys back when I made the first design document for the game. I've honestly completely forgotten how I came up with the name Duo Deck, but I do remember how I came up with the name Backazai. The enemy's name is a reference to the mock name that the Allies gave Japanese kamikaze pilots in World War II. The name there was Baka, directly meaning fool or idiot in Japanese, and the reason I took it is because both those kamikaze pilots and the enemies in my game blow themselves up to attack. While we're speaking about these little guys, let's continue. Back when I released the last Devlog episode, there was actually one glitch that I was aware of with the duo deck enemy. I elected to ignore it just to get the video out quickly, but I did realise that I'd need to fix it for today's episode. So what happened was, whenever I moved the enemy around the stage, as I would need to in making the actual level designs, I quickly realised that the missiles that it was spawning would never actually change spawn location, so they would always just go in the same spot, despite what I'd written in the code. I realised it was broken, so I decided to look into it for today's video, and it was at that minute when I started dissecting the actual problem for what was causing this, and so as you can guess, everything went wrong, and my computer collapsed into a black hole. For 3 solid weeks I was toiling away trying to fix this missile in my game, and just nothing worked. No matter what I researched, I just couldn't seem to fix this thing, without creating about 10 more problems that I had to solve. It was absolute torture. After ages of trying to solve this, I just needed a break, so I went to chill on Discord for a while, And it was here that I was talking with some friends about the uprise of something that you may have heard of called ChatGPT. This brand new crazy powerful artificial intelligence that could supposedly do anything. I myself had already used it quite a bit at the time for research and just general fun, but I was surprised just how long it took me to realise that it was the solution to all my problems with coding the missile. Literally all I did was copy and paste my code into ChatGPT and then ask it what was wrong. With this method, I managed to fix a problem that had previously taken me 3 months of work at home in just 3 hours during my off time at school. So, moral of the story, if your computer's broken, ask another computer how to unbreak your computer instead of spending months trying to do it yourself. Don't waste your life like me. Also, I should probably clarify that I haven't been using AI to just flat out write all the code for my game since this incident. Not only is that not an honourable thing to do as a coder, but it also defeats the entire purpose of learning to code to make this game. And it's kind of impractical too, because ChatGPT is surprisingly good at making mistakes. I wouldn't be surprised if it told me that anime was stupid or something silly like that. Anyway, next on my list was to add a weapon that I've been teasing for ages. All the ones I've made prior have been ranged attacks, so I figured it'd finally be time to add a melee one. This attack I have dubbed Flame Fist, with a pretty decent cooldown, high damage output, really low range, and also a delay after activating the move. While I was thinking about the attacks, I also decided to rework the other ones to be more unique themselves too. I gave each one its own activation sound, altered their properties to make the gameplay more balanced, and lastly made Strike a triple shot attack upon each activation. It wasn't long after this that I also realised my internet kinda sucked, with objects in the game failing to load while I was playtesting. So to combat this, I decided to research and install a fully functioning loading screen. It surprisingly didn't take me very long to get a simple one working actually. I decided to work on a few more features of the GUI since I was focused on that area. Initially the health bar was scripted so the damage effect would play every time the health changed, instead of only when you lose health, so I decided to alter that. I also decided to add some screen effects, so when you're low on health, it starts flashing, similar to those used in things like the Mario series in the 3D games. And I also decided to increase the player health quite a lot since I was there. After doing that, I also reworked the stamina recharge a bit so that it goes quicker, and I also implemented a simple sprint mechanic because I was tired of slowly walking around to play tests. So there we go! Alright, next up is music. By now I have actually managed to get some friends who are professional music producers to help me with the music for the game, but I still do want to make most of it myself. So for today's video I managed to complete 4 new songs over the course of the last couple months for the game, alongside receiving a half-completed version for a song that's going to appear much later in the game from someone else. As always, you can go visit my audio tool page to listen to these songs in their entirety, but I'll probably be uploading a new OST video sooner or later, so look out for that too. Anyway, I think I've done quite well with the songs now, you know, considering that I still haven't really learnt music theory. I've actually gotten my music teacher at school to teach me what a chord is, because I don't really know. That's going well, I still don't understand it. Anyway, moving on. Right, now we're getting pretty close to the end of the video, so I'll just wrap everything up now with a few other small additions that I made. So firstly, I decided to create a system that hurts you when you collide with an enemy, because it seemed kind of obvious to do that. So I worked up a quick script and... So, after I fixed that glitch, we were good to go. And then I went through the different characters and changed their hitboxes up to make things a bit more fair and realistic. And finally, I don't really know what I did. Honestly, I wrote down in my log notes that I changed the Bakuza enemy's AI, but I really don't remember what I actually did. So I guess we'll just have to assume that I improved the enemy AI too. Anyway, with all of that said, I've pretty much come to the end of everything that I worked towards for this video. Next video, the next devlog, I'm planning on creating some new enemies explicitly, so it will just be focused entirely on how I made those. I've got 3 in mind, all inspired by different things, so I do hope that you look forward to that. But for now, I'm afraid that that's going to have to be all of it. I'm going to include some bloopers at the end as well, just for your enjoyment, but other than that, goodbye everyone. Look forward to my next video. See ya, my fellow idiots. Bye! I actually also added some more moves. There you go. So anyway, that's why I decided to... Oh my god, I need the toilet. All of the ones I've made prior have been ranged attacks, so I figured I'd finally think... Oh god. It wasn't long after this that I realised my internet kind of sucked. So, with their oh god, why can't I just read a script? You will have seen them on my channel before. Why did I do this without rechanging the script? What is wrong with me? Right, now we're getting pretty close to the end of the video, so I just decided that I'll grab the but why do I... Look, for all of you at home, I'm trying to read this from a script on a tiny phone, and it's like half covered by my microphone. This is impossible.